What's up, fellas?
What up? What up?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, yeah.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another team meeting. And I hope I stay on. I think I overloaded my computer with all of this equipment. We're going to give it a shot. But our mission is to distract you from your current story, dismantle your current belief systems, and inspire you to change your mind, which will then inspire you to change your life. So welcome back to another team meeting. Of course, all of the places y'all can follow us: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Game 7 Shop, get all your apparel. But our mission is to serve. So if y'all could do us a favor, whenever y'all see us, hit that share button so we can get in front of more people. All right, so the topic for today is accepting your gift. Now, I actually wanted to do this last week, but I ain't have it in me. I was maxed out last week, but we carried it over to this week. Good morning, Mom. Of course, first person here. The entire gang is here today. Awesome. Yep, is this the first time, I think. Got the whole squad. So, accepting your gift. So, before we start, let's put some names to the concepts to make them easy to understand. All right, the topic is accepting your gifts. Let's put some names to the concepts. So first name we got KG. KG's on the call, obviously. The second name we got Just. Just is on the call, obviously. Welcome to the Smoke Show. The third name, Mace. All right, so we got three names to give the concept some easier understanding. So over recent times, I've been putting a lot of pressure on these three to accept their gift. Not necessarily using those three words, but in different ways. So, and once again, this is all my opinion, and we're going to have dialogue, so we'll see where it goes. The KG's biggest gift by far, in my opinion, is people. I know that sounds very general, but people love him. He comes in the room, they hit him backflip just because KG is there. I've seen old people, young people, middle-aged people. He just makes them glow. All right. Then we have fitness, obviously, and training. People, fitness, and training. But number one for KG is definitely people. Just people. Very similar to KG when he chooses to open up. Normally, as he's gotten older, he's gotten a lot more like me, a lot more reserved. But the people that know him, they love him. Fitness, obviously, and then speaking. So for KG, my emphasis is people, but for Just, it's speaking. We're here today primarily because of a conversation, not even really a conversation, a speech that Just gave to myself, KP, and Blake at the end of 2019. He was having some personal troubles with some people in his life. I was reached out to go talk to him, and the conversation went totally different than I'm assuming that person expected for it to go. But if you have the right conversation with the right person at the right time, that person that heard it, that needed to hear it, when they leave that room, when they leave that building, they'll never be the same again. And just whenever we get together, we doing some Game 7 work, it's almost guaranteed that Just is going to go on a rant. What people are doing, what people are not doing, what people need to do, and he inspires us. But he has like a Inky Johnson kind of conviction that he's just now starting to accept, in my eyes, knowing some of the personal work that he's putting in. But I also see that whenever Just does entrepreneurial ventures, he has a tendency to not really be himself, but he has a tendency to evaluate the market and do what the market does, instead of taking the market and using that as an analysis to do what he does. For example, when you was working on your logo, we always like, Josh, you can't use that one because somebody else using it, and he has a tendency to kind of copy instead of be himself. So my emphasis for Justin's gift is speaking. He gets people to move. I see G say, like, Josh, you ever think about being a preacher? Or some of the comments that we have, Lovelock always talks about you. Man, that dude Just, he be preaching. He got bars. He be preaching. But I think you're just now coming around to accepting that. And then third gift we're going to talk about today is Mace. Now, I've known Justin KG for 20 plus years. I know Mace for like 3, but that's more than enough time to pick up a gift he has very, very similar to KG is people. Every time you go on Mace's page, somebody else got one of his shirts on. Every time he makes a post, it's hundreds of likes and comments. People gravitate to him. He's a nice dude, But I also see with Mace and KG, when they are on camera, when they are in public, they're not really themselves. KG is a comedian, but he gets on the camera, he turns into a suit and tie professional. That's not him. That's not you, bro. Mace, you a lot more lit than people would think. As G joked the other day, he was like, "Yo, you turning into a Jersey dude," because there's times where you come out, you kind of rough around the edges, and you kind of abrasive, not disrespectfully, but you kind of intense, But you too, you get on the camera and you kind of go suit and tie professional. But that's not really you. It's kind of like you have this thing to where, similar to KG, you kind of do what people think you should do instead of being you, in my opinion, And one of the reasons you two aren't as public as I believe you should be is because you're overthinking instead of using your gift. It's not going to look like everyone else because you're not everyone else, So as we go through this, and if somebody has a challenge back for me, I'm open to it. But obviously, the analysis is usually better when it comes from an outside party. So once again, these are just to make the concepts easier to understand. So KG, I want to highlight people. Just, I want to highlight speaking. Mace, I want to highlight people. And then also in combination with your fitness and therapy. If you mind's in motion, you should be 6'2", cold-blooded, no body fat, example of it, my opinion, but we also had a brief conversation about those things this morning. So accept your gift. So number 1, your gift at this moment may not be your thing, but it may be the thing that leads to your thing, right? KG, I don't want to be posting every day, or I don't want to be talking or XYZ. I just want to train people, whatever the end goal may be. Sometimes there's a process that you have to go through that you may not really understand. That is your current thing that leads to your long-term thing, right? It may not be your thing, but it may be the thing that leads to a thing. So an example, clearly, football is not Colin Kaepernick's thing. He was cooking that quarterback, took him to the Super Bowl. One day he was inspired, right? By someone, by something, he gave it all up. He took that knee and he kept taking that knee because social justice, political, however you want to frame it, that was his thing. But football was his podium that helped him discover his thing. Or maybe he already knew it and just use it as a chance to establish his audience so that he can do his thing. And now he has a much, much bigger audience than just his 49ers fans before. So as I'm giving y'all this public pressure, deep down inside, you may be like, Mount, that's not my thing. But take it from me. As y'all know, still to this day, I'm not no talker. Like I'm much more of a listener. I'm not an on-camera guy, as crazy as that may seem now. No, but there was multiple people that told me that my words saved their life. Then I went somewhere else to a different population, and the same thing happened again. Like, yo, Malcolm, you saved my life. I was gonna kill myself, right? Or I only come to school for the first 5 minutes of math class when you talk to me before you talk to me as a math student. And I kept hearing it. I kept hearing it. I kept hearing it. I kept hearing it. And I decided to accept it. And here we are today. Not simply because of me, because we are definitely a team. And this by no means is something that I have done, do now, or will do by myself. But this is my baby. But that came from other people telling me about the impact that I have on them. Never would I have thought that I would be shooting to be a public speaker or going to different schools to talk about things that I normally don't talk about, at least to the general public. But I took it from other people to feed them. Second thing, don't run from something, run to something, right? For KG, that something may be the camera. Oh, I don't know how to do this, or other people are doing this, or whatever the case may be. Don't run from it, run to it. Same thing with you, Mace. I don't know how to do the reels, or I'm not really that comfortable, or whatever the case may be. If your mission is to serve, clearly this is not an opinion, this is a fact. You two, and including Just, you care about other people. Like, you'll put yourself second to help somebody else. And we have our immediate environment, our immediate surroundings, but what y'all do is on the other side of the camera, right? So don't run from it, run to it. Just you too. I think you're starting to run to the speaking, right? It was something that you ran from before because you did not understand the impact of it. All right, so think about it. People, things, animals, whatever, that run from something, they do just enough. That deer, that gazelle, whatever it is right there, only has to run fast enough to survive. They're usually in herds. They're usually in packs. It only takes one for the lions to feed. So they only have to be as fast as the slowest one, right? They're not going to be a winner because they're running from something. But when you're going for the kill, you're running to something, right? You have a purpose that's not just about you. The whole pride is going to eat when you eat. And you never know what's on the other side of it until you run to it. So don't run from something. That's how people survive. I'm running from my manager. I'm going to do just enough to keep my job. They're going to stay at that level. But that person at work who's running to management, who's running to ownership, who's running to a position to where they can hold some shares, who's running to entrepreneurship, they're going to do more than everyone else, right? So when G comes in from the regional office or whatever, and he's looking at all the people who make 50 G's and they do warehouse jobs, yo, it's this dude, Tony. He's killing it. His accuracy is 99%. He shows up early. He helps in all these departments. He's doing an $80,000 job for $40K. Yo, give me him. Let's bring him in for the interview. Then all of a sudden, he jumps from 40 to 80. I'm sure that's what G did himself. I'm not going to get personal information, but I watched this man's salary double in a day, more than double, right? Because he was running to something. So don't run from something, run to something. Don't be the hunted, be the hunter. Number 3, what's your why? What's your why? For all of us on this call, including Pizzle, who's on the other side, is to serve people on the other side of the camera, right? Or on the other side of the audience, on the other side of the classroom. I'm using camera because that's what's going to take us to the next level, right? It's undoubted our work that we do in person changes lives. Yo, how do y'all do this? Well, these 40 kids right here are the reason why this school is absolutely crazy. Or you know him, he just came home from an armed robbery a couple of weeks ago. He ain't paid attention since I met him. But y'all been here for 20 minutes. He's locked in. What are you doing? Right? So we know when we get there, it's easy money. We just have to be who we are. Right? And I don't mean money financially. Money comes, but I mean easy money. We can use our gifts. But our real gift is going to be impacting this camera on the people on the other side of it to get us in front of more people. Whether that's career skills with G, fitness with KG, therapy with Mace, KP and his weddings and everything else that he's doing, just with his speaking, everybody with fitness, whatever the case may be. We have to absolutely dominate this camera because that's what's going to take us to this next level. Look at E.T. He was killing it at Michigan State. He was absolutely killing it. That speech that blew him up, it was only for somebody's project. It wasn't supposed to be recorded. That camera took him to the next level, changed his life. He was doing that Advantage program for years and years and years and years and years. Then somebody caught it on camera. Now we got a different dude. He went from speaking for free in a student program for a program for students to now turning down 45-minute speeches for 50 G's, right? Because there's so many different options. So what's your why? To serve people on the other side of the camera. So the levels of why we have survival, status, freedom, purpose. The lion has a purpose. I'm going to eat. I'm beyond the status, right? Oh, I'm a therapist. I'm a doctor now, Mace. Congratulations. You feel me? That's something that we all expected of you from day one. KG, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a professional athlete. I'm an All-American. Congratulations, bro. Pizzle, I do $1 million weddings. Congratulations, bro. Just, I don't need no job. I got a nice house. I'm about to sell the same thing for you, G. Congratulations, bro. We got the status. We got the freedom. But once you find that purpose, it's a new level that comes out. It's a new level that comes out. And that purpose, 9 times out of 10, probably 10 out of 10, isn't about you. It'll be something that feeds you 100%, but it'll be for someone or something else. So once you find that purpose, that's when you start to run to. If you're running from, it's just about you. That survival, that one thing, that one person just wants to survive. That's not bringing home the food to everyone else. That's not showing an example to everyone else. But that purpose, when that lion gets that kill, everybody eats. Everybody eats. Because they came in first. They waited it out. They went and got it. So not survival, there must be purpose. And if you struggle, right? If there's a struggle to graduate from there, it's cool to be stuck here, right? You might be stuck in the middle of freedom and purpose. But that just means you got to try some different things. Try some uncomfortable things and get that feedback. Because as I stated, the thing that clicked in my life was that conversation with Jess. And then when that little girl and that lady came to my classroom crying, yo, Malcolm, I was going to kill myself. But you saved my life. Then I was done with math. My teaching grades started to fall. They did, right? Because I shifted. I no longer cared about my personal evaluations and such. I shifted to survival for work, but freedom for me, right? So I challenge you all to find your purpose or to dig deeper into your purpose. Number 4, you will not be able to utilize your gift if you do not accept the stress that it brings you as a challenge and not a threat. The camera threatens a lot of people, right? I know still, all these podcasts, all these events, KG still feels slightly threatened, right? Because he's not himself. Y'all that know KG, like he dancing and giggling, and he can never be serious. He could be serious, but even in a serious moment, he gonna have to drop a joke. Like him and G get on my nerves, always laughing and giggling. I'm serious, right? But that's him. Like somebody has to lighten up the room. It can't just be all the time, like my mindset is. Same thing with you, Mace. You know, you put that suit and tie on when you get on the camera because you're thinking, right? Instead of just using your gifts. Josh, you too. Well, people may not handle it, or I don't want to do that. Yo, people do handle it. May not be everybody, but people move. You know, I tell you, like, you the reason for this. You the reason for this. 100%. I did not know what to do. KP, you was there. You feel me? And KP and Blake was like, yo, chill. I was like, yeah, let's go. You feel me? Like, yo, Malcolm, we got to make $10 million in a year. We've been putting in way too much work. We got to make $10 million. You got to read this book. You got to do everything. Since that day, has not been the same. I did not take that as a threat that I was underachieving. I did take it as I was underachieving, but like meaning that I had more. Not like I was giving it all I got and I was some sugar honey iced tea. right? But I took it as a challenge, and I ain't been the same dude since. But let's say, all right, I hear you out, but it's still stressful. So we know stress is a perceived imbalance between your ability and your demands. Yo, when I make this post, everybody has to like it, and I need some retweets or whatever, and I need to make some money off of it. But I'm not that good a speaker, or I don't know how to put the music on, or I don't know how to do things. Yo, just improve your ability. That means you got to do it to find out what you can do. Or an imbalance between your resources and your needs, right? You have to do it to find out what you need. We on episode 47 or whatever. This is my first day with a mic. I don't know if it's working or not. Finally got a little background. Like the more that you do, the more you'll find out what you need. What you think you need, I'm speaking to everyone watching, myself and y'all, is probably not what you need. You're not going to know until you do it. Right? So if it's stressful, the key is to do it more. Improve your ability. Get some education. Get some resources. That'll help you meet those demands and fulfill those needs. But also, when you are a special person, like I believe you all are, one thing about us that G and Just, we talked about last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, we're usually doing better than we think because our standards are so high, because we want to win, right? Like a regular you, and this is for everybody, a regular you is enough to impact somebody. There's a quote I took from Andy Frisella a couple of weeks ago. You may not think that you're special, but there are people out there who think you're special. And it's your responsibility not to let those people down. All right? So yes, you got to be hard on yourself because that's what makes the special people special. That's what makes them do so much more because they are hard on themselves. There are places that they want to go. But just understand and appreciate that a bad game for Dame is Seth Curry's greatest game ever. You feel me? So remember that you're special. You have gifts, and it's your responsibility to use them. I think I got 7 of these, so 3 more. So when you approach a task, especially the ones that you don't necessarily want to do, focus on the facts and not your feelings. Focus on the possibilities, not your problems. That puts your attitude, your mindset on the right track. And if it starts off on the right track, you're much more likely to end up at the right destination. Right? So the facts are, KG and Mace, like just your presence changes lives. We went to a high school football game 2 seasons ago now, the pre-COVID season, at our school that me and Just went to. And there was this dude that they wanted us to talk to who came from a rougher background. He was a good kid, but he needed some guidance. This is the middle of the game. We never met this dude. He goes to our school. He goes to Petty. And then we introduced ourselves on the sideline. He was like, what's your name? KG? Yo, big 6'2", 240, big dude. Yo, this is KG. This is the big KG. In the middle of the game. The game was the last thing of his concern. He was jumping up and down, so excited to meet KG. He knew who KG's like person was, but didn't know that it was him. And I've seen that happen with KG multiple times. Mace, I don't really know the people that you know, but I've seen, at least socially, how people react to you. And people only react to you socially if they really mess with you. Right? And I just know you. I know your heart. Right? So facts are people respond to you. Just same thing. Facts are less people respond to you, but the people that respond to you, they make major moves. They make major moves. You're kind of the middle between KG and Mace and me. Like, I'm not really good with people who are interested, but I'm amazing with people who are committed. Because when you're committed, you deal with the truth. When you're interested, you need a nice approach, a kind of person. So KG and Mace might be better for you. They're a lot more tolerant with interested people and a lot more willing to get them to that level. I'm not. I'm much more interested in the purpose, but that's why we're a team. But just as great at like giving you that little salt and pepper, the real nice stuff in the middle, boom, hit you with 30 minutes of bars right after that. You feel me? So facts are people respond to you all. People move, And also for Pizzle, like I know you was it seemed kind of surprised about your progress 2 weeks ago. I knew that from the beginning, bro. I remember when me and you was doing the team meetings and all, it was just me and you 14 hours a day. Yo, Mount, he want me to be second shooter. Yo, Pizzle, you like that, bro. Once again, somebody else speak to you. Now you making major moves. And I know it's a process, but the facts speak that the moves are there. Number two, you feel a little awkward, a little stressed, or whatever. Don't focus on your feelings. What are the possibilities? Is that one post going to change your mom's life, KG? Is that one post going to save somebody from being a drug addict, Mace? Or is it that one conversation? Not necessarily a post, that one conversation, that one call, that one session, that one personal training, that one video, just whatever the case may be, or that one perfectly shot picture or video, Pizzle, right? What can come from that? What are the possibilities? We know the possibilities are just speaking. Somebody going in and drop bars for 45 minutes, that's 2,500. That's the minimum. That's what I was taught. I don't know about the program you taking down, Jess, but 2,500 is the minimum, right? This year we've graduated from 4-figure checks the last 2 years. Now we're getting 5-figure checks. You feel me? So what are the possibilities, right? None of us want to work and we got dope jobs, right? We can bring in all of our income together in a month once we find our groove. You feel me? What can come from it? So it doesn't matter how I feel. I get up at 5, yeah. I got a podcast to make that 2 people gonna watch. Cool. But it's practice for me. Because when we get to that school and I'm in front of 500 people again, I've been talking every week for free. Now I'm getting paid. TD Jakes did that for 10 years, hour and a half back and forth for 10 years to preach to 20 people. For 20 people. Now 20,000 is small to him. Right? Because he focused on the possibilities. He had a purpose, right? And when you have a purpose, your attitude is on the right track. And you got to be on the right track to get to the right destination, right? And right now, what I'm more or less, the role I'm taking is, I'm not sure if y'all saw this highlight or the game last week. LeBron passed the ball to Caldwell Pope. He ain't shoot it. He hasn't been shooting it. He pulled him to the side. So, yo, I want you to shoot. I pass you the ball because I want you to shoot. Shoot the ball. I don't care if you miss. You have the talent. That's why I recruited you. And he probably signed to today group. What's it called, KG? To their where they sign the athletes. He probably signed with them and Rich Paul.
Yeah, he's on Clutch. He's in Clutch.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, I'm helping you get this bread. I'm passing you the ball, get some more points and some more bread. Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. That's what I'm asking y'all to do. Even when you don't want to shoot it, bro, you in the league. And the top 3, top 2, whatever, number 1, best player of all time is telling you to shoot. I ain't that. You feel me? I'm that for this. You feel me? I'm the leader of this. Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. You got to have the right attitude. You may miss. Everybody talks about Kobe's rookie year in the playoffs, air ball after air ball after air ball. Yeah, my leg's not strong enough. Came back year 2, never been the same. 6, think, act, talk, and conduct yourself like the person you want to become. All right? That's one of my biggest struggles with people. Y'all, everybody else. I see nobody as they are. I only see people as what they could be. Not in like a mythical way or like a dreamy way. Yo, only and I compare it to my effort. Like where people describe me as militant or overly driven. And yo, if you're militant, you overly driven, you're gonna get all you got from yourself. You feel me? Game 7 is a real thing, 7 days a week. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Goals and ambition mean everything. You want to be a regular average dude, you're gonna put regular average work in. You want to be a regular average trainer, you're gonna put regular average training in. You want to be a regular average therapist, you're gonna do regular average things. You want to be a regular average speaker, you're gonna be regular average, but we're not average. We are not average. Nothing about us. We put way too much work in. Right? So you got to be who you want to be now. Right? Kobe's the perfect example. Yo, I'm going to be Jordan 2.0. You can say what you want, but who else would you copy? Like, you feel me? Who else would you copy? That was everything on his mind. So be the person you want to be later. Now, and number 7, I think it's the last one. Keep it G with yourself, right? Just be honest. You either are or you aren't. You will or you won't. You're going to become it or you're not. But that determination is not because of the outside. It's not because of the camera. It's not because of the people. It's not because of the diet. It's not because of the relationship. It's all about what's inside. When it's inside, the outside things will come. So you can tell yourself all the reasons you're not. I'm not good at this. I don't know that. XYZ. Nobody likes me. Boom, boom, pow, whatever. But none of it's true. I know that every excuse and every reason is BS because there's people out there who do worse than you with bigger challenges and more struggle who've done exactly what you want to do. Who've done exactly what you want to do. That goes for me, G, KG, Mace, Pizzle, Just, everybody watching, everybody who will watch later. Right? You just have to commit to it. And don't listen to yourself. When you're special, people, universe, God, whatever, outside, they'll let you know that you're special. But the day you take responsibility for it is when you find that purpose. So once again, this is not directly targeted at these 3, but I wanted to give a structure for people to follow. So whatever that applies to you in your life, I challenge you to accept your gift. There was another person, but before I open it up to y'all, a beautiful young lady who be on me. She pressed for me, right? I know what I'm talking about. Like, yo, just whenever she does something, people gravitate to her. One post turns into bread, right? Another post turns into more bread. And I tell her that you're not just doing cosmetics for people. What you're doing is you're catering to people's feelings. So when their hands are done, don't worry about this. Look how happy they are. That's what you're giving them. When you do the hair, look how happy they are. That's what you're giving them. Right? So make it about other people. You have to accept your gift because all of the glory, all of the money, all of the freedom, everything you want is on the other side of that. And just remember, it may not be the thing that you thought. It may not be the thing that you thought, but it probably is the thing that leads to the thing. So I'm gonna be quiet, and I guess let's go with KG, Just, and Mage first, since they were spoken about directly.
Yeah, I think this was a great topic, obviously. And one thing that stuck out to me was that Andy Frisella quote, right? Oftentimes people don't see themselves as the way that other people see them. So sometimes it makes that moment for other people realize like, wow, like, well, maybe I am XYZ that everyone thinks, but the biggest thing it has to come from within. And sometimes that's a struggle. You have to remind yourself on a consistent basis, whatever way that is for you, that you are that guy or you are that girl that you want to be. And that's important. That's extremely important, because if you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't really matter what the people think of you, anything, because you're the most important person in your journey, first and foremost to believe in, because no one else is going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So that's extremely big, and realizing that other people look at you in a way that you may not even understand and see. So that's something that a lot of times that I want to get to a point where I realize, like, yeah, like I've had those moments where Malcolm spoke earlier at like football games, at game days, and just any times in my life. And then sometimes like it's humbling as well. It's like, wow, like I didn't even think like, they person even looked at me like that. So it's a humbling experience, and something that definitely reminds you to how important it is to think highly of yourself and hold yourself to a high expectation, because at the end of the day, you know, it's your job on the earth to serve other people and add to this world, this universe, this community. So, you know, that for sure is something that personally that, you know, I need to keep getting consistently better with, because I see myself in a way that, you know, obviously, you know, I've accomplished some things in my life, so I hold myself at a higher standard. But I don't think I'm always necessarily realizing that, you know, my true influence on others. So that's one thing that I want to continue to do personally, to be 100% transparent for everybody who's listening, and for myself, frankly.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree, KG. I think it's a great opportunity to get an inside look at what it's like to maybe be in our circle. Um, this, I think, for a lot of people, if you don't have this set of friends or brotherhood that we do, some people might be threatened by the stage that Malcolm has created this morning. Meaning, you know, this is basically a public press. Okay, this is your skill set. You're not where you should be at with it. You have whatever hurdles that you need to get over so that you can begin to act in your purpose. Now's the time to do it. He just did it in a structured way. And I can appreciate it because for those people that have value in your life, they don't just sit by. I think I seen a post the other day, or we were talking about it in a group chat. But you know, the people that care about you most, they don't sit by and allow you to not operate in your purpose or with your talent or your skill set. They point it out to you. They have the expectation for you to act in your purpose. And for me, you know, 3 points really stuck out. Obviously, the headliner, which is accept your gift. Acceptance is the first step in any process. I mean, whether you're overcoming something or you're headed towards something, accept where you're at that moment. So for me, it definitely is to accept the gift. And while I do, accepting my gift of my voice, my ability to move people with my voice, while I do accept it in maybe other areas, like in my professional world or amongst my friends and family, or those that I come in contact with, it's not always that I accept my gift when it comes to like maybe a virtual platform or the social media world. And that's just a mental hurdle to get over. And one way to get over it is just continue to step forward into it until it becomes something that is normal for you. So the second thing that stuck out to me is that in the process of identifying where you're headed, you don't need to actually know what your end goal is just to begin. And I think everyone on this call can identify with that statement, because the profession that we've all ended up in is not the one that we sought out to be in as a young person. However, we did get to a place of this success that we have because we just continued to move. We continued from whatever that first thought was, we made steps towards it so that we could become that thing. Then whatever that thought was, as we stepped towards it, we built a skill set, we built a network of people, we began to build a relationship within ourselves that we could achieve that thing. Maybe that thing or that goal was not what we envisioned it to be in our head. Once we began to experience it, now you create a new goal, but you take that skill set with you that you developed on that journey and you apply it to the next goal, the next vision, the next target. And you continue to evolve in that process. Maybe that's the reason why the millennials, you won't see them or us work these 30-year jobs like our parents or grandparents. There's just nothing that you could do repetitively for 30 years and find fulfillment and continue to operate in your purpose. We are evolving people, right? And I get it. I 1,000% understand, you know, security and having family and responsibilities of those things. But we are more so of the people that are looking to operate in our purpose in this generation, because we have been injected with that that vaccine of operating in our purpose and not allowing money to be the reason that we settle for not operating, you know, in that space in life. So definitely to stay on the right path, but the right path is identified by the steps that you take, and yet that you will continue to identify what that is as you continue to move in your journey. And then the last thing that stuck out to me was walk in the image and likeness of the individual that you are to become. Right? I mean, the great thing about having people around you that love and respect you is that they see a version of you that you don't see yourself. But the magic is in the moment when you begin to see yourself in the same light that they see you in. I think that's a space that no one should feel extremely, extremely pressed and uncomfortable to get to, because if it doesn't happen organically, there's an opportunity that you're forcing yourself to see something that you don't actually feel, understand, or identify with, right? So I heard Jay-Z say, and many people that are on social media, he said something in an old interview. He said, I'm not going to allow anybody to rush my process. I'm not going to allow anybody. It doesn't matter what you see from me. It's important that I run my race in the pace and in the direction that I see fit for me. And I can appreciate it, right? I'm thankful that despite my skill set of having a strong voice or having conviction or passion in my voice, I know that there is more responsibility that comes with stepping on a stage and using my voice than just having my voice, right? There's the up and down sides of standing in front of a camera that you have to be willing to deal with the benefits and the consequences of it. And until I get to that place that I am holistically myself, or the version of the man that I know I will need to be able to handle all realities that it is to step behind a mic or a camera, then I decide to fall back, right? Because a lot of people do things just for the benefit of it. They don't see the downside. They don't see the drawbacks. They don't see the limitations that it creates when you operate in your purpose. We see celebrities all the time. They have, beautiful homes, and they have, vacations that they go on to. People around the world know their name and their face, but they can't go get an oil change. Jokers can't walk down the cookie aisle with their son or daughter because they become a prisoner to their fame, right? They can't operate and do the things that you would see normal people do. Take their child to the park or walk around the pond or whatever it is. Now they got to build their own pond. And that doesn't come immediately when you get success. You don't have build your own pond money. You don't have build your own supermarket money. Or like Akon said the other day in an interview, he got his own gas station. You can't pull up to the Mobil, the Exxon, or the Shell gas station with the Bugatti because they only made 8 of them. You understand? So there's certain limitations that come to operating your purpose and then actually being able to reap the benefits of operating your gift. And I believe it's super important to understand the entire image and the entire reality of what will come when you begin to operate in your purpose. And you have to be willing to accept the highs and the lows of that reality. And that comes with being able to build yourself as the man or the woman that can handle those things and not allowing anybody to rush your process, but to understand that that's a direction you need to constantly move in. Because while you have a gift, you also have a responsibility. Mace, I'm gonna hand it over to you, big guy.
We should let Just go last because he dropped the bar, and I don't know if I can follow that one. So I'll say I think that one, I appreciate KG and Just's perspective. It's like they were kind of like different but the same, and being mindful and aware that this really was this was a press out session, like a public press, like Just said, and but it's appreciated. It's appreciated because I think that there are times where I know I push and I tell people, like, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to grow through something. It's okay to not know what you're doing first and to learn it. But when you have to do it yourself, then it's like, oh, dang, I got to do it again. Or now I got to do it again. And as a perfect example with like the reels on Instagram, like that was something that Mark has been pushing KG and I to do probably for like low key, like 3 months. And we both kind of like, I feel like we both maybe, I think, well, KG did it a little sooner than I did it, but I definitely like slow walked it. But I think I slow walked it because it was uncomfortable, and it was uncomfortable because it was new, and that was something that I had to push myself through and push myself past. Because at the end of the day, if you have a gift, you want to be able to utilize it in the best way to hit the most people possible, rather than just doing it in person. Sometimes, like, we're in an age and we're in a space where you can make a video and a video will blow you up financially, business wise, professionally, and even like ethically and personally. But if I'm just talking to one person, I'm only talking to one person, and that can still do great work. But sometimes we just want to like level up. And I'll say practice definitely makes perfect, but then implement also is important, because when we implement something, we then learn how to do it better. Like, I've done 2 reels, which aren't a lot. I've done 2, but I looked at my first one and I looked at my second one, and I always see a growth standard or a growth perspective from it and a growth mindset. So rather than allowing myself to be scared behind it or not really wanting to address it or push forward, I just kind of like push through it, and then I lean into it rather than lean away from it. And then also to piggyback off of Just, I think accountability is super important, and I'm thankful for this group, because as others know, I'm the person that is usually the pusher or the one that's kind of like setting the pace. And there are times where, you just need somebody else to set the pace for you or to help you through that. And accountability is super important, because in this group of friends and brothers, you're gonna get it. You're gonna be held accountable. You may not like it. You may not. It may come off a little harsh, a little rough, but at the end of the day, it's all love. And I think that we've grown to know that with each other. And there are spaces where now I appreciate the accountability, even if it doesn't come from Malk, or if it comes from G, or if it comes from KP, or if it comes from KG, whatever that accountability looks like. When someone is there to say, all right, Mace, you said you're going to do this. Like, come on, have you done it? What you need to do it? Like, are you just BSing? Like, come on, like, let's get it together. And it's helped me grow through a lot of experiences, from personal experiences, but also to professional experiences. So again, a press is good. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. When you're working in your light and someone they see what you don't see in yourself sometimes, is something that you need. And those are the type of people that you need to kind of be around and stay around, because that's ultimately going to make you be and do better.
Let's go Pizzle and G.
Those are all very good points, KG, Mason, Just. And I think one of the things that kind of stood out to me as well, and it seems like this seems to be the trend amongst the group, is that you won't utilize your gift if you don't accept the stress that it brings you as a challenge and not a threat. I think some of the toughest moments, and just speaking back in my own personal life, I realized that the toughest issues and toughest challenges that I've ever encountered always created my new baseline, right? It brought me to the new next level, and allowed for me to progress and to kind of level up from that way. So understanding that going through an issue or finding out your challenge or finding your gift is going to be stressful, right? I think one of the best ways to know if you are even heading down the right path of finding your gift is knowing that you have enough passion where you don't get overcome by the stress. I know one of the great quotes I think I said it before, and I've always kept it on my phone, is that no conqueror knows that he is conquered until the fight is over, right? So you literally, when you go through it, you have to just continue to continue to keep your head down, continue to deal with the stress, and really evaluate it to see if, like, yo, this is what I really want to do. Now, on the other hand, there's plenty of things that we do and we try out, and then we say, like, yo, the stress isn't worth it. It's just not it. And maybe that's something that you shouldn't really hone on to. But if it's a real passion and it's something that's worth getting and it's worth achieving, then you have to deal with the issues or anything else that comes with it. Because at the end of the day, a test is given to improve the deficiencies that we have. So always take any test or any challenge that we have and learn from those, to grow from those, just to kind of be a better person. So I know me and Malcolm, we talk about it all the time, and just, looking back as far as where we started at with this whole Game 7 and the filming and the videos, where, we're doing late hours and we're doing it on old MacBook Airs and different things like that. But if we weren't able to handle the stress that came with it, we're spending 14, 16 hours just doing videos, we would never be able to get to the platform that we're at now. Malcolm would never be able to have the talking skills and the way that he speaks to people and those experiences. I wouldn't be able to do the weddings and the documentaries and things as well. So just staying true to your passion is really just fighting through those issues, fighting through the stresses, fighting through the issues and the hurdles, and just remaining focused and just keep going. So.
All right, and to close it out, I'll be real brief, but I think we all, everyone on this call has mentioned high standards. I think high standards are a good thing, but with that, allow for grace. As you guys are talking, I'm thinking through different examples and metaphors, and it's like when you look at a picture of yourself, you notice all of these different things that other people would never pay attention to when they look at that picture. They just see you, and usually they see the best version of you. So when you're thinking about doing a real Mace or KG, for me, coming on this call, I remember the first time we had a call about a year ago. I was in Seattle. I was scared as hell. It was the daddy issues call. I was scared as hell. But don't be so highly critical that it paralyzes you. Take a chance and get better. It's like anything else in life. Where you will be a year from now is a lot further than where you started. But you can't get there unless you take that first step. So take that step, but allow for grace, allow for you to grow, allow for you to make mistakes and learn from them.
So thanks, fellas. As y'all spoke, I took a couple of notes. So it was Just that said this, I think. He said, build yourself as the man or woman that can handle those things, right? Build yourself as a man or woman that can handle those things. And I know somebody's pushback is going to be, I don't have a gift, or I don't know my gift. And my response to that is that you've been underworking, underachieving, whatever, throughout your life, right? Whether mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially. Because you have to be this person that's prepared. Like you have to see, like Caldwell Pope on the Lakers. He had to work to get on varsity in high school, to go to college, to get drafted, to be recruited by LeBron, to be trusted by LeBron to get that pass, right? He had to work all the way up to that point. So if you don't know what your gift is, that means you're dropping the ball somewhere, whether mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially. You have to be able to be a person present enough. You got to find your own gifts first, right? And you may not realize it, but there will be something special about you that somebody else will see. But if you're not mentally fit, you're not going to be willing to expose yourself to other people so that you can even see what your gift may be, right? If you're not physically fit, right, you may not want to get in front of people. I guarantee you a lot of people can speak or they can do things, but they scared of the camera or scared in front of other people because they don't look good. Right? I don't care what you say. People that's not in shape, they don't feel good inside. Deep down inside, they wish they could be better, right? Like I'm really big on putting those before afters. Like people after, like when they do a workout plan and they commit, it's a totally different person. And I always say some people never really know what they look like, and people respond to physical attraction. I don't care what you say. That's why when there's sales, they put in the woman up front who's physically attractive to bring people in, right? And there's a direct correlation between health and wealth, right? Emotionally, like there's a lot of emotions that come with like how G said he was nervous to get on the camera, or what people are thinking about, whatever the case may be. Your emotions have to be in tune so you can use your gift. And then lastly, financially, like so many people are sworn by work and sworn by financial responsibilities that they never get time to explore anything outside of work. So that's why the Game 7 mentality is so important. You got to give everything you got. And just also said something else along the lines, you got to borrow somebody else's belief. Like if they see something in you that you don't see, just give it a shot in the way that they see it in you and see what comes about. Like, because so many people eliminate themselves from the opportunity before the opportunity even comes about. Like I remember with Pizzle, when Pizzle first had the camera, he was like, "Malcolm, I don't do videos." I said, "You gonna do videos, bro? You gonna do videos?" And last week he just made a major move off of video. You feel me? Because and that's usually me pouring into people. Like, yo, do it. Like you can do it. You can do it. It's very, very rarely on the other side. It's normally me telling people to speed up, pick it up, do more. And people are telling me to chill out, slow down, do less. Right? But I'm much more for the do more until the results come about. And then lastly, no, not lastly, the roles that we all play, especially for myself, Just, KG, and Mace, especially, we have a responsibility to model it, right? Like, Mace, you can't be a therapist and you're not using your own skills. Bluffing.com, that's some fraud stuff, right? Or KG, you good, but you can't never really be out of shape. Urge other people to be in shape, like you're a fraud. You feel me? Adjust, you can't be speaking to people about things you're going to speak about and you're not applying them to yourself, right? That's teaching, right? That's parenting, and that's the L. The best teachers, the best parents, they model it. And if you're a part of this team, like the Game 7 mentality is real. Like you have to give everything you got every day. That's just how it goes. You feel me? You have to. Otherwise, we're not living what we're preaching, right? And I know that's extreme. I know that is rare. I know that's not normal. But the results that we're seeking are extreme, rare, and not normal. So that work ethic must be matched. And then lastly, the gifts that especially KG and Mace have, like somebody like me, I need results. Like I know how whatever way that my success will come, if and when I blow up in whatever regard, I'm gonna have to have results first. Y'all don't really need results for things to get a lot of attention, right? And likes and all those are just likes in comments and stuff. But for me, that's bread right there. Like that's marketing. Well, that's the potential to get more people that you can help, that you can serve, right? So remember, like part of y'all gift is y'all don't really need results. Like KG ain't posted no befores and afters and nobody yet. He don't have no results for the work that he's done with people, but people still come. They're attracted to him. Mace, everything you post, like people are coming your way. So I just want to like re-challenge y'all. Like y'all have the gift of whatever y'all got, the attraction thing. Y'all don't even need results. So imagine when your results come in. But then when they come in, you don't want to just now be learning the reels. You don't want to just now be learning how to speak. Like, yo, KG, I see you got all these results with these kids. I want you to come down to Florida. I want you to speak to the entire school district. You got 1,000 superintendents in there. You don't know how to talk in front of people. All you know how to do is work out. You drop the ball, right? So y'all don't need results. Model it. And I challenge everyone, y'all and everybody else, to be the best person that you can be. And that's when your gifts will show. But if you're not being the best person that you can be, your gifts may never show. Whoever want to jump in, can jump in.
Yeah, Mark, you brought a good point up about limitations, right? Bringing up the conversation because I remember the conversation you had with KP about doing videos versus photo, and it just reminded me. It definitely is rooted in my faith, but just in people too, right? This life has shown me that the only limitations that actually exist are the ones that you put on yourself, right? Because most of the skill sets that are necessary to be effective or to be great in one area of life, they apply directly to other areas. That's the reason why we see celebrities who might come out as an actor or actress, then they're a real estate guru, right? Or they got an amazing real estate portfolio. Or now they're the, ambassador for an alcohol or food brand. Or after that, now they're on, some kind of social media platform, talking about fitness or being an ambassador for there. Because whatever it took for them to get to the stage of being a successful artist in their own way, or actor or actress, I mean, it takes the same exact skill set to become successful in these other areas. So understand that these limitations that you're seeing currently within yourself is just because you haven't committed, long enough or focused long enough on whatever one target is to be able to master that, so that you can have an honest relationship with yourself around, having a skill set that can be applied in multiple areas. So just be mindful of it. That's one of the benefits of gaining mastery in one area, and that's a process. So like G said, have grace with yourself, but also don't operate below your ability, below your ability level. And you know what that is, right? Be 100% honest with yourself. You know what it is to be completely drained at the end of the day. To be honest with me, just to be honest and to be transparent, I don't have a good night's rest unless I'm completely on E at the end of the day. I'll lay in the bed and I'll stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. My mind will continue to race from a place of dissatisfaction with myself on how I could have done, better that day, or what I could have done to maximize that day even more. So obviously, that might be an extreme version, for some people, but identifying, what your own threshold is for the activity that you give each day, for the effort that you give every day, and the standard that you hold to yourself. Sorry to be long-winded, but second thing that stuck out to me is if you don't know what your gift is, we've heard Steve Harvey say it all the time, but if it's whatever you do the best with the least amount of effort. But if you're not able to do that, say you're an adult, okay? It's very easy with children, but as an adult, you have a group of friends, you have a group of coworkers. Now, depending on your profession, maybe your coworkers might be a little bit sharper, or the people that are at the managerial level or above you, or your supervisor position at your job. Be intentional about forming a relationship with them that's personal and professional. Add value to those people, and those people will highlight your skill set and what you're best at. How that applies to children, if I'm a C student, man, I'm sitting at the table at lunch, during class, in every single arena with those A students. I don't care how weird they seem. I don't care if they're into things that I'm not interested in. My goal is to be an A student. And the only way for me to do that, because I haven't found a way to achieve that goal as a C student, is to inject myself in the circle, in the mindset, in the conversations, into the habits of those people that are successful in the arena that I'm looking to be successful in, right? And it's essentially the same model, for adults or whatever stage that you are in life. And for us as young adult men, or men at this stage, we've identified and continue to seek out other men and just adults that are successful in areas that we haven't found success, including this circle, right? There's individuals in this circle that are clearly ahead of one another in certain areas of life, whether it be health, whether it be self-care, whether it be fitness, or all of the other areas that it comes in life, spirituality. I have not one artistic ability. I would love to be able to develop a talent in some kind of art arena. But the person on this call to go to is going to be KP. You know what I mean? He's the artist in the group. He sees things through a different lens. And I may never become a photographer, but his ability to see things through a different lens can help open my perspective, and definitely help me to be more effective as a speaker, because I can speak to things then that I didn't used to see through my normal lens that I saw life through. So I just wanted to add that, that perspective. And I hope that you can take something from it as we continue to pour into you all, and then obviously continue to pour back into ourselves.
I want to follow up real quick. Something you said, Justice, stood out to me about the sleep. I'm the same exact way. I can't do 3 or 4, but I've realized a lot of people always ask like, "Oh, how do you sleep? How do you sleep?" And I'm always like, "I slept great. I slept great." And it's because I've realized that I'm putting out, my output is so much throughout the day. Like when I'm up, I'm working, or I'm hitting the business, or I'm doing something with my daughter, or everything is full. I'm not just kind of like, not saying being lazy, but I'm not just like sitting around. I will always sleep good. Like I don't have any issue going to sleep at like 9:30, 10 o'clock every single day, because I've put out so much energy into the day, and then I sleep well and I wake up rejuvenated and I'm ready for the day. Like I wake up now, my alarm is set for 6, but now I wake up at like 5:45. And I remember reading a study that was saying that if you can wake up at least 15 minutes before your alarm, that means you've got the best sleep possible that you needed. And I think the only reason I've been getting that type of sleep is because I've been giving so much energy while I'm awake that I haven't had to realize or like really force myself to go to bed. Like when I lay down, I'm knocked out. Like there's no coming back from that until it's time for me to wake up. So that stood out to me, and I wanted to highlight that.
Good. KG, G, Pizzle. All right.
Closing remarks.
Well, I'll add to that too. That's another thing too. Like, this is, I guess we're going to a new topic. But if you can't sleep, you're not giving it all you got. Like, there's a tremendous difference between being tired and fatigued. When you're fatigued, you're going to sleep. Right? Number one, it tells me you don't work out. Number one, at least not hard enough. All right. And number two, I am much, much more tired when I'm mentally drained. Right? So going back to the mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially fit to find out what your gift is, give it all you got, yo. Give it all you got. Work out. There's no reason for anybody on the planet, unless you're physically disabled, not to be physically fit. Right? It may not happen overnight for you, right? Because you may be operating at a deficit, but there's no reason to go backwards. Right? Choose the purpose over comfort. Right? Number one, that's going to drain. Right? Or I don't know, I don't have a business yet, or I don't know my gift. Yo, read, study. Like, as soon as you get up, get to it. Right? Work and family, that's just standard parts of life, but filling the rest of that with you. Right? That's how you find out what your gift is. You got 24 hours in a day. You know, join the 5 a.m. club. Like, I challenge you. You wake up at 5 a.m. for 2 weeks, then week 3, I want you to get up at 8. You're going to feel like you missed half the day. You're going to feel like you missed half the day. Right? So if you don't know what your gift is, spend all of your time becoming a better person. And if you do know what your gift is, spend all of your time maximizing that gift. It's going to require you to miss some shots. It's going to require you to miss some family gatherings. It's going to require you to say no where you normally say yes. It's going to require you to make some people mad. It's going to require you to cut some people off. It's going to require you to be hard on yourself. And that's not one. I just want to be clear with the grace thing. Like, grace is very different than excuses. Like, I know some people, like G talked about a picture, like on Instagram, hypothetically, and you see all your flaws, right? Everybody else doesn't necessarily see that, right? But like, I can just be like that because God loves everybody. But then you got other people who see their flaws and they're controllable, they do something about it, right? Oh, the back of my arms is big. Oh, you got to do some arms, bro, miss, right? You got to get to running. You got to put the cookies down, right? You're not using your gift. Because when you're on camera, for this example, you're not focused on what you're saying to improve the way you're speaking because you're stuck on looking at yourself. All right? So grace means, like, I get it, be tolerant, but also, like, some people see flaws and, like, they'll accept them. That's kind of like, I ain't even going to say it. What's up, Billy? I'm not going to say it, what we talked about in the group chat this morning, but, like, excuses are, like, publicly acceptable now because everybody can relate to them. Oh, like, it's cool to be unhealthy. Right? He or she is comfortable in their own skin. Yeah, until they not. 10 years later, when they finally hit their groove and they passed away because they were too comfortable in their own skin. Right? So give yourself grace, but use your flaws to get better. So if nobody else has any closing statements, we'll close it out. I challenge y'all to accept your gift. Pizzle.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about the sleep part, and I think that is 100% true, right? You gotta. I know, me personally, I'm kind of going through it now, where I'm freaking tired, and I found myself this past week, I had to like force myself to kind of like yo, like it's unhealthy to stay up this late, or it's unhealthy to be up 22 hours. So I think I wanted to piggyback off that, like Mace. You're 100% right. And you too, Malcolm, y'all say that basically when you go to sleep, it's only because your body's like forcing you to be tired or forcing you to reset versus you actually being like, I'm just going to go ahead and get some rest. So that kind of hit a point with me.
No doubt.
Just to clarify my point on grace, I agree with you. It wasn't to say allow yourself to make excuses. It was to say, shoot the shot, like KCP. You might miss, but it's okay. But shoot the shot, and then if you miss, you shoot it again. So allow for it to not be perfect the first time you do it, or the second time, or the third time.
Facts, you're right. Like anything good is worth doing bad until you're good. Right? I get it. Like it's okay to look ugly out there. Yo, at least you out there. Like you took the step that most people not going to take. You know, like I'm sure I can speak for all of us. You know how many people we know with gifts, but they so scared to show it because it's not going to look like they are all pro when they are rookie. So I 100% agree. So I just think we needed to make that clear. Accept your flaws on the process to accepting your gift, if that makes sense. So dope session. See y'all next week when we talk about whatever happens to me this week. And I lost the video. All right, here we go. So see y'all next week. Peace out.